love this. I love this.
I was concerned when Nat didn't go for a control.
When it comes to EMEA and possibly worldwide, but Crazy Raccoons coming in and playing on Bind and showing us a couple of different things to what we expected, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they've got a completely different composition to what they normally run. They have a player in, if I'm not mistaken, Neth doesn't normally play on this map. It's normally Minty. So they've gone for a lot of changes when it comes to Bind. And they had to, because this is a map that they really don't play. So the fact that they've tried to switch things up so rapidly, they've gone for a double duelist, even throwing the Sky in as well. It makes it exciting. I don't know if it makes it good.
Right, where are your expectations coming into this before we really delve deep into the pistol? Do you see Gambit winning this one easily?
Yes.
Or can Okay, right, well, we won't even get the second bit out. Perfect. A minute left on the clock as we chime into the pistol. And we've had Munchkin in that early fight go down on B long. Other than that, it has been a very stagnant round. And for those of you of the international audience who it could be your first time seeing Gambit, this is how they play. Pistols, rifles, it doesn't matter. They will run that clock down, bait you into a fight, and, well, this time, at least Fisker's able to get away with his life.
Yeah, the patience can sometimes come back to bite them, but the fact that they've managed to find the opening duel is definitely a good sign. I like that Crazy Raccoon are trying to be proactive, though, but with the peak that they've just made, I question if they're going to start falling back to the A side. They didn't spot anyone into long mid. You go, okay, they were there initially. That probably means they've rotated off. In fact, it's just a re-aggression through hookah.
Yeah, these players coming out with 15 seconds left. Addy's able to take himself a double, and Fisker's still here to try and run the clock down, but Redgar and Nats show up just in time. 2 seconds left as the spike goes down, but now they're in trouble. Neth, one versus...
Yeah, nice attempt by Addy, though. The fact is, I think they baited the rotations excellently when it came to the Gambit side, but the problem, obviously, is that, well, by that point, there was only one member left on the site. The fact he gets 3 kills... yeah, impressive.
Well, yeah, it was a valiant effort, let's say, but this time around, no reward. Now, Crazy Raccoons are left down onto just pistols with 4 classics to play with. It is going to be a pretty tough round for them to find any value in. And that's why we see this stack up towards the B side. They're hoping that Gambit will make the mistake of running in through hookah and give them the opportunity to pick them off with that classic crossfire. But as they see nothing into the late round and the flash on long, it's nothing either, they will start to push on down. And this timing is expected. Gambit are looking at it, and short of some whipped shots, it should be clean. Bassy's gotten a kill and he's away with his life. Even a headshot to Chronicle and 20 health left on him. I mean, this could have been very costly, and it still could be.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, slowly we start to see normality, I guess, turn back into the round for Gambit, getting themselves a 4 versus 1. Fisker, if he gets the kill here, that's a win. Like, if they can drop a couple of weapons, they're coming back with a 4-buy in the next round. So, if anything, you could say the context is key.
It absolutely is, Tom. We know that for sure. In this round here, Fisker's chances, though, are very, very slim, and that's the context he's playing with. Little flash out, tried to grab himself a cheeky blinded opponent. Oh, I like this. A good attempt. But
yeah, up until the point where they were through, all the games were incredibly close. Like the game they had versus Liquid literally ended in multiple overtimes and them almost going out of the tournament. Even before that, the teams that they faced, it wasn't a clean victory. So it's possible that they feel the pressure a little bit here being on that stage, and I almost want to see them prove us wrong with that by just going into this game ham.
Got some Zed skins already being shown off by these guys.
They are very pretty.
They really are. Moments like this, I wish I brought my laptop with me, Tom.
I actually need to buy them. I've got my laptop
before we
me.
forget, I end up buying the whole pack one by one. It'll be a Reaver Vandal situation all over again. Well, with a minute left on the clock, Crazy Raccoon's just tucking in. They know exactly what Gambit like to do. They're aware of the slow play. They haven't managed to get Nats in. This is spotted by Addy. He knows that he's about to take a fight, but he's taken down by a wide swing out of Nats. A quick kill and possibly an upgrade in a moment. This could get a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, the control he has makes things a little bit awkward. Rotation already coming through. Nice work from Neff, though. The blast back in. The aftershock, I think, of his teammate actually going to hold him back a little bit longer, and it's a shaky fight, but they're on the defuse. Nats is going to have to go running through his own utility just to try and get that little bit closer, and he will be sectioned off. It's left all onto Shados, and he doesn't stand a chance. A great start for Crazy Raccoon as they would get themselves their first round. Yeah, the thing is, though, they're also very close to a lot of ultimate. Seeker's one-off, Viper's Pit as well, not too far off even a Hunter's Fury, so there could be a lot of problems coming through in just a moment for Crazy Raccoon if they don't manage to find anything within this round. They're actually going to get a little bit aggressive, and you know what? Defo was having none of it. He's just gone straight through the smoke. It's an audacious push, but it's almost what we come to expect from someone like Defo.
Sure is. Defo is.
That's what you're going for. Okay, okay.
Yeah, we'll start it slow. We'll start it slow. Nat's taken down right away. Munchkin is getting away with a lot here before Defo eventually takes him down and puts Gambit with the man advantage. You'll notice that a lot of the time when a fight like that comes in, you've got 2 picks. This is where teams really huddle up. They start to move towards the site. But again, this is the team that we're looking at. Gambit,
it's not 20-second
slow
mark, Mitch.
and steady. There's 45 seconds left. That's basically the buy time.
Yeah, they got ages to play with. Now, Bazzi's in a decent spot. He has a fair amount of utility to try and slow them down, but he almost has to act, I was going to say as a Sentinel. Instead, he's been instantly removed, and the remaining 2 players are still to rotate. Okay, sure, maybe the paint shells can do a little bit to try and do some damage, but forcing them back isn't going to do too much unless they can find themselves a pick here, and all the angles are covered. Nev still manages to find a pick, though, but the blast pack doesn't grant him anymore. Defo with a triple.
They're much more lax in a lot of the scenarios. So it gives them the freedom to flex it up a little bit. Munchkin's already going down mid. Look at this guy go. They've had the flash to cover him as he crosses over, but nothing spotted with the Blade Storm.
I think it's also worth mentioning the player that is picking up Sky, which is Fisker, who is normally the duelist for the team. So he's not someone who is in that supportive role for Crazy Raccoon a lot of the time. So you can almost look at this effectively as a triple duelist, and then even not a Sentinel, unless you're going to say maybe they're using Breach and Astra as Sentinels. So they don't really have a lot of stopping power on their defensive side, which is going to basically make them go more aggressive than they might like to be, which we've seen teams try to do to Gambit before, Mitch. It doesn't really work.
Well, see, that's the problem. This sort of a composition, and you touched on it exactly. When you're playing like this, when you're not playing with a Sentinel or even just a Viper in there to help out, you're kind of at the mercy of your opponent's attack. You have to go and try to seize some ground, and up against Gambit's slow default play, that's exactly what they want you to do. They're gambling on it. Look at this dash into side from Defo. 40 seconds left. They're really upping the pace. It's a bookie in towards Hookah, so not the biggest of threats, and they'll look to deal with him before things can get a little too risky. At least they normally would, but they're TPing. It's a big fake, and it looks like Crazy Raccoons have fallen for it, rotating the majority of their forces, leaving just Addy up here in the corner, and the Sheriff, sadly, not enough to get it done. Quick rotation has come in with Bazzi wanting to get some damage in, but I don't think he's going to really have the opportunity. Guardian in hand, he wants to get back towards his teammates and help them entry. The fault line does it. Oh no, it caught Munchkin! Oh, that's the worst case scenario, really.
We have an odd round, but luckily we now come back in with the purchase. We've also got the operator and onto Defo though, and with how aggressive the defense has been so far, I think he's just going to wait and hope that someone pushes into his crosshair.
Well, yeah, you would guess so. A minute 30 on the clock. They won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Constantly using the Sky on the attack side in the early rounds. The important thing for Gambit here is that they have a cycle of utility. They can use their Sky to try and flash you out in the early stages of the round just to get the information. Now, for example, they know these guys aren't pushing up bat. They're not playing close. That flash will be online by the time that they come to pushing that. So it's very valuable map control to have in the early round. And now as it's pushed back into, Shados is more than ready to take this duel. He's even going to pop another flash, which blinds the player towards the back. And here comes the execute.
Yeah, they've used a Cosmic Divide of their own. This one always makes me a little bit uncomfortable because you can pop flash through it, but every single timing peak was perfect. And of course, Nats, the man just doesn't miss. He's just wiping them all down. It's very individualistic, though, from Crazy Raccoon. One by one, they peek into this man, and no surprise, one by one, they fall. Okay, Redgar didn't expect anybody to be that far behind at that stage.
An ambitious flank play, for sure. I have to say, when you look at Gambit's play in the early round, that round right there, I mean, it's just so nice, man. You see Shados flashing into bat the first time, sections it off, knows, okay, next 20 seconds or so, there's not really going to be anyone pushing through. Then goes for a second flash, that blinds up Neth, so they know he's in there. Cosmic Divide down, they rush in, they take Neth down, and then that's when you see the other player try to come through to trade his teammate, but Nats is just on a swivel, taking that kill as well. I mean, obviously they're getting out of here with at least 2. Let's see if it's all 3. Bazzi doing quite a bit of damage on that one, but ultimately having already
down, like someone's just unveiled you in the bathroom and you're like, oh dear.
I'll tell you, the second I see this comp come out of Crazy Raccoons, I'm just thinking their defense is going to be hell. Like, Gambit's, like, literally, what we always talk about Gambit, slow default, and Crazy Raccoons pick a comp where they're like, okay, we gotta get aggressive in the early round. Yeah, it's
Get
like,
in their faces!
Well, hey, I respect it. Come in with confidence,
Yeah.
right? Say, hey, no one's ever tried this before. This is probably why. It's 5-1, and we're looking at a pretty mixed buy out of the defensive side. They've got a Vandal, and then it devolves pretty quickly. Gambit, no surprise.
Bucky, you know, Bucky
Oh,
still,
yeah.
it's still popular,
Big
right?
Bucky.
People still use that.
Definitely, but they do have a showstopper to play with on Neth as well, and that's where you could see some serious impact out of this round. He's actually getting in position now, having been spotted out with the Bucky. And look, they've seen a Bucky towards Hookah, and the response is, let's rush him down, at least for a moment. But they flash it, see he's not up close, and they'll just back on off.
Again, I like the re-aggression. At least not allowing that much control, but the fact is, with how much we're seeing Gambit show themselves over towards the B site, I don't think we've had a gamble stack on A in pretty much any round. Like, they haven't had those early
30
rotates,
seconds left.
and it's going to leave just 2 players to try and hold on to this one. 25 seconds, this is time for Gambit to get it going, and they're going to make their move in towards A.
All the ultis are on B. Rolling Thunder, Showstopper. These could help to stop the push at the 15-second mark. The problem is they're nowhere nearby. And as they get into position, Rolling Thunder, that could actually cancel it. It will. 9 seconds now as they go for it. All Crazy Raccoons need to do is stop the plant, but they can't get in there in time. And now it is just an absolute salute. And you know what, Tom?
Woo!
We'll wait no longer. Back into the game we go. 6-1 when we left, and Crazy Raccoons were just about to get a full buy. You see the weapons in their hands. You see that beautiful Showstopper is still online. And so far, it's been on B when Gambit have gone A. I regret to inform you, Tom, that it's on A as Gambit look fondly towards the B side.
Here.
Yeah, they don't really have much to play with on this side. Maybe the Seekers can give them at least a little bit of something. Munchkin going to be spotting. Fisker has actually found the opener as well, which is something we haven't seen too much. Gambit have got off to a very good start in the majority of these rounds. So the fact they found the opening pick, it means that Gambit are going to have to be a little bit more proactive, a little bit more aggressive, and sometimes that's where they suffer. However, Defo traded things back very quickly.
Munchkin unluckily hitting the shot through the wall, so it's not a kill, but Defo's shots definitely are. A 4 versus 2 comes out of absolutely nowhere. The Showstopper still in play for Neth, but does he deploy it? No, he absolutely doesn't, because Defo takes him down before he can even reach for his keyboard.
And they just like, nope. Nah, you know what? Nope. I'm going back.
3-man stack on B, Tom. You have the stack up. You get the opening pick onto Redguard. That eliminates the smokes from your opponents, because don't forget, we had already seen Gambit put that Viper wall down on the A site, as they like to do in the majority of rounds.
Yeah.
And even despite that massive disadvantage, they just run over the site like water. In fact, Defo is hunting so aggressively with this up. He wants the ace out of this, but he'll be sideswiped at the last moment. And that could be a saved operator over on the Crazy Raccoon side.
It could be. It could be if they want to, which...
Defo on form. This is Defo in his comfort zone, and the entirety of Gambit, in fact. You were talking about Brazil just a moment ago. I mean, it is 7-1, Tom, so fitting.
Ah, you're trying to get every single... trying to get every single...
Hey, I said Vivo were going to win so that they can't be mad at me, all right?
I do not condone that
Take
message.
the good with the bad.
They need to go back to their champion of Rivington. Nice shot, though. Okay, Bazzy, Munchkin finding a couple. Shados at least available on the trade, and the Showstopper, it's finally been popped, and it's been put to good use.
It took us 8 rounds, but we got there in the 9th, and Munchkin is just 1 away from Bladestorm, plus he's managed to recover that rifle. This is looking like a fantastic round, and a potential bounce back for a Crazy Raccoons that otherwise have just been dominated at every single turn. Redgar quickly takes down Addy. Those Astra Stars no longer going to be worrisome. And Redgar continues the IGL, certainly thinking he's a duelist in this moment. I mean, when he's playing with just Chronicle having the post-plant capabilities that he does, maybe he is a duelist. Oh, he's been spotted out up close, but this is Chronicle's moment to shine. The flash on its way over. He has been spotted on the backside. Great information to play with, but Crazy Raccoons are falling left, right, and center. Redguard, the last man alive. Post-plant stars are down. Munchkin won't be able to get this defuse in right away. He has to try to bait him into open combat. Another tap necessary. The clock now running low. Halfway diffused as he comes off it. Redgar, oh, he's got the flank, and near miss.
Bladestorm available, but then you start looking at the ultimates that are still online on the other side, and it doesn't paint a pretty picture.
No, it most definitely doesn't. this operator on Munchkin, I hope, will be the difference maker, something that can really put this defensive side ahead in those early round duels. But again, we know about Gambit, man. They just play so slow. They're tucked in, they're waiting, and whilst Crazy Raccoons had the early peak out on B long, they don't see them there. They start to rotate to the A site, where they're going to be heavily stacked up, leaving poor old Fisker all by himself, and Gambit still haven't made a decision on where they want to go. They're leaving their options wide open. Chronicle hoping to find an opening on this, and a good connection, but no follow-up. 70 HP left on Fisker.
Yeah, Fisker dances his way out of that one, pulls a rotation to give him a little bit of extra help. The push from Nats, though, he's already found one on the edge of the smoke. This leaves just one defender. They do this every single time. The poison orb removed to give him that extra vision, and Ade's going to be scanned at the back of the site. They have to give it up. Now, they don't have the paint shells. This is what they previously used for denial, but Bazzi has been able to catch out one.
He most certainly has. An opportunity yet again, an open door to potentially walk on through, but it's been tough. Gambit constantly winning out on these post plans regardless of the disadvantage. Now a hero is needed. Munchkin sideswipe, 27 HP. The operator comes out now. The Blade Storm has been popped. Plenty of options for him there, but as Addy falls, the numbers start to thin out yet again on that defensive side. The time not in their favor. They have to make their way forward. Shock darts are on the way. A flash in. The Blade Storm, but he's blinded up. There'll be no defuse today.
Win. If we're gonna play well, Shados is the man to watch.
That spray is actually sick. I never noticed that it pulses and changes color. God damn, we're gonna have to get the laptops out, aren't we? Log in one of these PCs. Well, we're at 9-1, and yeah, we painted the picture this was going to be a very good map for Gambit. You said, hey, 5 or 6 rounds attack, and I think they've got enough in the tank. Well,
9 is more.
Yeah, 9's actually a lot more than 5 or 6. Yeah, it's a bigger number. That's how you know.
They've almost hit double digits in the ones in the first
All right,
half.
okay. I know. I can already hear Riv laughing from here. You know that. Thanks a lot, Tom. Thanks a lot. Well, looking for double digits. Gambit have a minute left on the clock, and that means another 40 seconds before they start to move their booties, slow it down, take it slow, and hope that they push on in. Defo hasn't been blinded up. Fisker luckily doesn't decide to peek out on it because that op was trained on his position, and even if the shot missed, Shados was there to help out.
You are divided!
We're going to see the Cosmic Divide thrown down. It seems like a bit of a ruse. Munchkin doesn't even know. And dear, Nance's awareness is enough. Good flash through. Fisker's found one. The remaining 2 players on this side, though, they're facing off against the fake. The rest of the players are just walking into B. It's like, guys, I've killed Nats! Oh, there's no spike here.
Planted B, yeah. And I mean, that's one of the problems, man. You know, a normal team's fake is like, hey, go make a little bit of noise, maybe get a kill. And Nats is like,
put your screen up.
Oh,
okay.
What? Bazzi's taking Defo down through the wall. Okay, it's a 1 versus 2. He's got a Rolling Thunder. Unlikely to deploy it right here, but it's so close to the end of the game at the same time. These Seekers didn't make a damn difference for Crazy Raccoons. In fact, they're finding it hard to even get an opportunity to use these ultimates. The rounds are so slow, but then ending so quickly once contact initiates.
Here we go. Defo moving a little bit quicker this time. Doesn't have his operator in hand, leading the charge and going through the screen. They're just so unaware of these peaks! What is that from Redgar? Just takes off 3 heads as they attempt to get back into the site. They're going to try and push through it. Defo's already waiting.
There.
Sure.
Well,
who was that?
I think it was Justin Bieber.
Alrighty. Not quite the reference I was expecting out of you, Tom, but, you know, to each their own. Redgar opening this one up, and I think we start to get the violins out if it continues this way. Nats is up close at his poison orb, waiting for them to barrel on through. Now, of course, you have to be careful of a sky flash popping on in, and that's why Nats takes his orb away before they can, but he's dropped down right away. A fight ensues on the site. Shados being pushed down and executed. Munchkin has opened up so much space for Crazy Raccoons, but they need someone to follow up on it. They need a hero in this round to keep them alive. There's an Astra Star on the side, a pull and dash out. Redgar lining him up, and he can't finish him off. Oh, a whip comes in at the wrong moment. Fisker has to clutch, and he can.
Going to be feeling too good about that one. It hasn't happened yet.
But you know what? And let's just say this quickly. Gambit experienced exactly this up against Supermassive
That
Plays. They
is true.
started the series out, they got absolutely slapped 13-1 in the EMEA playoff finals, and then they came back and won the whole series. So you really can't count out Crazy Raccoons. We know this is a poor map, and I'm hoping for a lot more when it comes into the next. There have been signs of life, but it's these nasty plays. It's the levels above that Gambit are playing when it comes to this map on some players like Nats, like Defo. They're just so comfortable right now.
Yeah, like even when rounds have been close, there's been clutches out from Gambit every single time, but we'll see what they can do here. Of course, we've got a decent investment coming through for Crazy Raccoon. They've got to try and win this round, even though there's a lot more invested on the other side than you'd normally expect. Nats is actually going to play within his poison of the flash is so perfect! Straight through, Neth didn't even know what hit him, and he's even going to trade his own life, the martyrdom, to give them the man advantage further into this round.
This is not feeling good at all for Crazy Raccoons. They were at a man disadvantage moving in towards this site with pistols and a Marshall. The first is taken down and the second follows swiftly. I think it's safe to say that this is Gambit's map. This is not a map that you want to be messing with the CIS squad on, and the Japanese side have learned that the hard way.
Yeah. I mean, it's what they're lacking, you know, the info. I'm concerned about the fact that Crazy Raccoon...
Like Chronicle going back to his Sova, that's something that we see quite regularly. So it's like they've gone back to a bit more of I guess, a default in terms of their other maps for what they'll be playing here.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, let's see if Crazy Raccoon have got what it takes to make that comeback happen. Look at this dash in towards the A side. Lots of presence being made. Munchkin taken down by a quick right click. That's suboptimal to say the least. Neth is now trapped up above. No way out, so the flash comes in to help him. Looks like he's going to stick in position. Holding it down with his teammates. The wall to his back keeps him safe as the rest of Gambit looks to push in. The picks just keep on coming their way. They turn their attention upwards, and that's when Neth falls. And the post plant, well, there's not nearly enough time to run down that clock. I mean, Addy would need, well, firstly to hit his lineups, and secondly, he would need to actually have a little bit less
Pistol. Well, Neth got one for the plant, Mitch, that's it.
Great, yeah. Wow, +1.
+1.
Big wins.
They all got one for the deaths.
And then the defuse came through, so it's all balanced up. You know, when you look at Crazy Raccoon right now, pistol round loss, it is going to be a little bit of a kick to them. You want them to get off to a good start here. Build up the momentum, get themselves back on that horse. But Gambit winning that one out just continues the same story, right? Been quite a while since they felt even a round loss in this series. Coming into this one, you don't expect much to change. It is basically just a full ego from Crazy Raccoon with the little ghost we have on Munchkin looking for an opportunity, but, well, it's unlikely he gets anything done, really, unless his teammates are going to be rallying up with him.
Yeah, Nats as well has a pretty ratty setup when it comes to just peeking this angle a little bit more aggressively, like having the one-ways available and then also just having his snake bites to try and clear out any positions of aggression. They have, however, managed to avoid a lot of it. The problem is he's just slowing them down so much, so eventually it's just going to come down to them attempting to try and rush into the site. If they can pick him off, that would be great, but I wonder if he has just spotted maybe a little bit of information, because the rotation is now starting to swing that way.
Here comes the wall. Easy clap for Gambit on the back site. Nats is now in trouble, but Redgar steps up to help out, and this is just looking like another flawless round.
Out of this group will be Gambit and 100 Thieves, so I think they're the clear favorites. Havan Liberty, like, going to try and do some damage along the way, but so far Crazy Raccoon have shown literally nothing, so we're hoping that this is going to be that change here with what is a much better purchase coming in for them. Of course, on the other side, they haven't even really built up too many ultimates. There haven't been any deaths, which you might be thinking, okay, why would they give them the ults? It's the extra ult point you get from dying. Instead, there are literally no ults even close to being online going into round 3.
Yeah, so nothing really to bridge the gap for Gambit, which further emphasizes how Crazy Raccoon should win this round. This should be theirs cleanly. Redgar's pushing up. Oh, he's managed to get past them. A free kill on the first, and he is out of here. Not managing to make it all the way, but slowing down any form of re-aggression. They can't clean execute on the back of that, because they'd have to run through the slow one. Player spotted up above. Shock darts in for a little bit of damage, and it's going to cause the heal to be popped in the very early stages of this round. In fact, that's quite good, because Munchkin could have gotten healed up to about 100, so having Neth heal himself, and he's still not looking too healthy. Plant comes in. Now we're going to look at the post plant, see if they can manage to keep these weaker weapons at range. How is Shados away with 2? He's moving towards the side. His teammates rallying to help. Low HP on Bazzi, a clean kill on the death, and it's only 20 health on a Sova. No chance for those post plans to work out. In fact, a clean defuse and a 3rd round for Gambit with 3 players left alive. Free upgrades everywhere. This couldn't get any worse for the issues. I like it.
We're in the game.
We're back into the game indeed. There was a little bit of a microphone malfunction, but now it is fixed and ready to go. Crazy Raccoon 3-0 down after losing their previous full buy up against the bonus round of Gambit. As you said, Tom, there is plenty of cash, plenty of credits over on that defensive side of Gambit, and now they get to use them. And what should be a pretty clean round. Bazzi, the one player coming in with a rifle, does a lot of damage to start it off, though.
Yeah, decent start. This is the position I wanted to see Shados in, though. Like, he has that ability to just get out of dodge the second he finds a kill. I think he's one of those players that can just have those crazy multi-kill rounds as well, so giving him the ability to just heal himself back up, it almost seems unfair. So the fact that he switched roles, especially when he was such a strong Sage, shows how much faith they have in this player, and they're starting to look to swing back in. They do take down Defo, though. That's an excellent start.
Oh, they've all been spotted here. It's time to push on forward. Shados good for the first. The spray almost fully connects for Chronicle. They're starting to really lose the manpower that they had before. Neth on the flank, not able to get anything done. And with only Addy left, he's got 2 opponents to take down, a ghost in hand.
Particular, it's not the most common of picks. It's something we've seen a little bit, but he's one of the players that was really pushing it forward. Now they've switched, and there has to be a reason. And as of yet, I've not seen it.
This is interesting. The mid push coming out of Gambit, they've got a drone going down to clear. They already had Shados ready to take a fight, and he was pursuing it. Now that they've spotted absolutely nobody here and pushed down A, this is going to be a full-on B stack. They'll be ready to go in for the retake, and they hope that the Viper utility will be enough to keep Crazy Raccoon back, but it isn't. They've pushed into the site, they've got the control, and as they look for the plant, they lose Munchkin right away.
Watching for the flank, but Redguard with the instant headshot makes this look like a already fleeting position, and now Net's the only one standing. At least he's denied them another flawless round. This is one of the things we always talk about, like the Turkish players coming in and finally getting like the 0 ping matches. I remember Nats actually tweeting something similar to that, basically being like, oh, this is what it feels like to play on normal ping. So these players are 0 ping. It's true. It looks like, for me, the difference so far, like Defo was always very good, but I can't think of him missing a shot so far.
Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on.
He's been landing everything.
It really just exaggerates the reaction time of these players when you take away that 30-40 ping disadvantage that they'd be playing against a lot of the other players on. So 0 ping Gambit, certainly not a team that you want to be messing with. Now, Crazy Raccoon are going to be looking for the B site yet again. The wall is up to keep them out. Munchkin didn't find success here last time around. This time, the Blade Storm missing the first couple. In fact, I think he's running pretty low on knives at this point. Just the 3 to work with, but there's the connection. Chronicle down. A little more going to be sought after as he starts to really creep up and catch them off guard. But no, the shot doesn't land. Shados survives, but he can't get the kill to heal on up. Great damage done by Munchkin for the round that's in it. Crazy Raccoon have spike, plant, and man advantage.
Damn, through the wall. So now he's aiming away just to make sure it's not legit, but no, never mind. We're going to have the push coming back in. There are still weaker weapons.
Oh, he's killed his teammate!
Oh no, he's picked up one of his own, but Bazzi is still standing, trying to do work with the Marshal. It's left all onto Ade. He's got his utility landing. He's trying to slow them down. Nats has actually run out of bullets, and he has to go for the repeak, but they're just sticking this all the way through, and he can't quite land the shot right now. You disgust me. That is an awful thing to do.
Right. In all fairness, let's be clear, right? Let's not throw Joey under the bus right now. The reality is they had already seen him, and the probability is they would have killed him easily by surprising him on a pre-fire swing, and it would have played out roughly the same. At the same time, not ideal. Killing your teammate 6-0 down. Defo opening it up nice and easy. That previous round was a weak buy out of Crazy Raccoon that they still got, well, that's not the slow, that they still got a lot of damage done in. This time around, well, they've lost the opening, but they've traded it back with the res. They reset the round with their full buy, with that operator in the hands of Munchkin. Now we need, more than ever, to see something from Crazy Raccoon. 1 round so far in this series.
The problem is, again, we can start to see these gambles back in the other direction with the fact that we've already got the Viper's Pit locking out B. But there you go. Defo's been taken out. Munchkin stepping up with the operator. He's instantly red guard. Okay, that might be a little bit of an ego peak, but I guess with the teammates he's got behind him, he's still feeling confident.
Just going straight in for it, man, on top of the rope. That's ridiculous. But yeah, you saw them. They're reclining. They're relaxing. This is a team that feels confident and a scary opponent to try and take on. The kill. Onto Ade means that the Viper's Pit is going to be dropped. There's the fall down by Shados. Easy kill, last player spotted. Weapon out, ready to take the fight. And it is clean as...
Like, where they get in a realm of just like, oh, we're better than these guys. And then it just becomes a match I don't want to watch anymore because it feels mean.
Oh! He's just spray transferred as they try to walk through a choke point. Oh god, he's gonna put a snake bite down as the wall breaks. He can hold the angle right after, no problem. Flash doesn't even catch him. They're like, oh, don't worry, no one's holding close anymore. Flash didn't see him. Oh yep, he's still here. Nats is tucked in the corner, waiting to take the kills. Fisker's gonna go into, he's even trying to wall bang him. Okay, that's an ambitious play. They baited him in with the second player spraying. It's a 4K already for Nats. Absolutely farming. Chronicle, don't kill. Oh.
Yeah, no, I stopped a long time ago.
Hey, who knows? Maybe Gambit will be trash on the attack. You never know.
Revealing area.
The way they're playing so far, I think you do know, but you never know. Technically, you never know. Nats playing aggressive, no surprise there, but he's going to be taken down. Okay, this time he's finally got his comeuppance. Shados, we saw this exact play before, but last time he didn't pursue it. He didn't start to push down middle alongside the drone. Now he is looking to catch that flank. The confidence has boosted up, and exactly as you said, they had the crossfire. They've lost Munchkin, though. Is this where they start to reposition? Where a player starts to move? Yes, it is, and that's the spike. Shados spots a second player, and he is hungry to take him down, trading out his teammate and eliminating Neth. A 3v2 develops. The spike is down in mid, and it doesn't get much worse than this, Tom.
Yeah, they're not even going to fight for it. You can see all the utility that's having to be used by Crazy Raccoon just to try and get this back. But the problem is, I actually don't mind the Seekers, because they don't know where they are anymore. They don't have a clue as to where the remaining players are. The only problem is each Seeker's going to go in a different direction as they go running into the B side. They didn't see one go directly to B, so I wonder if this has almost sold them a bit of a false positive, because you now have one player patiently waiting. In fact, the rest rotating
to
support them as well.
Oh, I don't want to see this. They're lined up to spray it.
He baits it.
Defo's playing with the Blade Storm, waiting for that peek. That's just disgusting. Absolutely filthy.
I want to point out, I never want to see Fisker like play Sky. I want to see them swap back. I don't understand the swap. It looked better as it was.
That's it.
He has missed.
Add one to the counter. We have actually seen a whiff from Defo. The first of possibly no more to come. Chronicle's gone down, though. That kill would have been so valuable in the early round. This is an opening for Crazy Raccoon to get in there, running out of those knives. Rengar's having a tough enough time, forced into the reload and taken down. At last, we're actually seeing Crazy Raccoon get on the site, but have I jinxed it? Have I ruined it? It looks like Shados is here to fight. Arena up on top, spots Neth down below, drops him and peeks out for more. Everybody's tickled up over on that attacking side. Crazy Raccoon have so much to do. The recon, not quite going to reveal Defo, but it does force him back, and they can actually get the plant now. Munchkin getting rid of his knives there. Unfortunately, no target connected, but he has got the Vandal to play with.
He's in a decent spot. I don't know if they'd expect him to be this close. The peak comes through and he has to give it away. Now his teammate's desperately low, but it's a fairly even playing field at the moment. The best chance we've seen from Crazy Raccoon, and Munchkin is actually going to take some ground, try and sneak his way through. He's already found himself one. It's left all onto Nats, potentially ending the chance for that 13-0, and they will get around.
Rolling on in. Now Gambit, surprising. I know everyone at home is going to be gasping. They're not on an eco here. They've actually got a couple of credits.
There's all those flawlesses.
Shados is going up. He's been spotted, though. Great recon to stop that aggression, but then they walk right into the operator.
Did miss that one. Not really that surprised. It was a blip on the radar for Defo as they attempt to try and re-peek into this one. 3 versus 5, and it looks like we're back on track for what is a ridiculously dominant half. Wall into mid, giving extra space and almost disallowing some of the rotations that Crazy Raccoon wanted to go for. They're going to break it, but it is wasting a fair bit of time, and they've still left players lurking around that spot. No reason for Nats to rotate. And Shados is still getting aggressive.
Yeah, the feeling of this map, the feeling of this series, really, it just looks like Crazy Raccoon are being outclassed the entire map because they've already got their round on the board. Let's see what more they can do with weak weapons yet again. Final round, they're forcing up what they can. 2 Vandals is all that they're able to pull out on this attacking side. What's more, looking to find themselves a second round to close out the half and make that pistol at least a little bit less pressured. That's Redgar up close. The rest supporting from further back. They're not going to check it at all. Oh, they did! Fisker Skyer not is able to get that one done, but now they deal with Nats. Shock Dart, Snake Bites. He's got 2 HP left, and he's still going out to fight. This man just doesn't give up, pumping in the Viper's Pit to keep them at bay at least a little longer. The Shock Dart could have taken him down, but it won't. Not this time around, and now any notion of going towards the B site pretty much fades.
Oh no, they have Defo holding onto the cross as well alongside Chronicle, so at this point there isn't really anywhere for them to go. Just in case they've somehow crossed, I think he's actually switched and they'll see the smokes, but there's a gap in it, there's a big gap in it for him to try and base into. They're going to try and peek versus Chronicle, and hey, they get the trade, putting it into at least a winnable position, but he's just so damn fast. Defo is going to put it down to Ade. Now his counter Viper has 2 HP, but he's also Nats. And he's a bit of a rat.
He's inside a Viper's Pit, which is the worst part about this. He's holding that close angle as he walks on through. The steps are being made. 10 seconds left. He's got to run, and he will be taken down. Inside pistol. And Tom, it's not like Gambit are known for having weak attacks. I mean, sure, we've seen it on Vine before, but here on Icebox,
not so much. Yeah, I think on other maps within the pool, maybe, but I think in this scenario, it didn't matter what side of what map or in any spot. It just looks like they're completely outclassing their opponents, and they've already kicked it off in the pistol, Mitch.
Yes, they have. Picking up the opening, deleting Munchkin, and then slowing it down.
He has a Sheriff and Shields. They've got a raid boss Nats.
Yeah, well, I mean,
or
with
did
the
he get it from Munchkin?
No. Oh, sorry, he's actually on Munchkin's body, so maybe he did. He might have. Either way, he is destroying them with it. Coming in with big damage onto Fisker, left on 45. Snake Bites and Shock Darts on the way. Look how quickly they make that decision. That's not a lineup. That's not a position you commonly put your Snake Bite Shock Dart down in. They just quickly are like, yo, let's hit him with the util now. Force him into a fight. They make these calls so quickly. Their comms must be clean. I'll tell you what, their aim certainly is.
Good observation, Mitchell. Now, we're going to see if they can get anything in this round. A single kill. Some might be looking at this as a potential.
30 seconds left.
Do you know what?
Spike planted.
I do indeed. And it is indeed. If it's not Sentinels, it's Gambit. That would be the toughest that you're going to be facing off against. So the reality is, yes, it's acceptable to lose this match. It's expected. But in this dominant fashion, it just really is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad, but we'll see. Maybe they can at least make this a little bit more of a competition for the latter rounds. The problem is they also now don't have the weaponry to try and battle with. Munchkin knows got a lot of ground. Now it's being watched by Gambit, but only tentatively. They might not expect anybody to be behind them this quickly, and the timing could actually work out for Munchkin. Now sat in the corner, will he actually clear the angle of Chronicle? And if he does he decide to kill him?
Oh, Munchkin, he's sad back, waiting for an opportunity, and there it is. Nats taken down on the post plan. Chronicle, quick to trade. It's there just in time to save his teammate's life. The defuse tapped. They have to go out and make sure that it's not coming in. Those post plan lineups not here, and a quick